It's not pleasant, but on the other hand, black still needs to make progress somewhere.
I saw it around here.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously he's low on time.
Yeah, that also is an issue.
Why would he not play a bit quicker from time to time? Of course.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I prefer black, but
it's becoming a bit of an issue for me as well. But yeah.
In your games, you mean? Or?
Yeah, but I was sort of still claiming its old age, as it is very likely in my case. It's probably a bit premature.
You've got the out there. You can say it's old age. But
yeah,
he
but
hasn't
yeah,
really got an out.
for him that really isn't something he can say with without getting laughed out of court.
Let's not talk about that. Anyway, so what's going on? Like, I don't see a plan for white, which is an issue.
The plan for white is we should forget about plans for white for the time being, at least. It's a question of whether black has a plan. I mean, the obvious plan is to pile on as much pressure as possible on the f2 pawn and see if it just kind of collapses. And one way to do that would be to play h6 followed by bishop h7. Mm-hmm. I think Fabi probably wants to do something like rook hg2, and if something goes to f7, he wants to go bishop h5. Not because it wins anything, it doesn't, but just to prevent black from doubling on the f file.
Right. Is there any? Now, call me slightly silly. Is there any merit in trying to organize b6 at some point?
Of course there is, but it's not easy, and it actually makes the position somewhat double-edged, because you probably will have to sacrifice the a6 pawn. And also, what is good for white in that respect is that something is open on the king side, so you're not, like your hands are not completely untied to do things on the queen side here. Although, yeah, white will not be mounting a mating attack on the king side anytime soon. That's for sure. Not with the a3 bishop completely locked out. If you imagine the same position and white goes bishop b2 and black for a moment forgets what's happening and allows d4, d5, it's a whole different kettle of fish, obviously.
Yeah,
but
you can't really.
Yeah, but with the knight on d5,
such a good two fantastic knights, right?
Yeah, those are tremendously strong. And with the bishops completely restricted, both of white's bishops, frankly, completely restricted. Yeah, you just hope your open g file is nuisance enough for black to not be able to do anything constructive.
Yeah, it looks tricky, doesn't it? Looks tricky, I have to say. But 2 minutes doesn't inspire me. I really have to say for 8 moves.
Yeah, 2 for 8 is not a comfortable situation to find yourself in here. Although your moves are understandable.
So what if I do?
Yeah, let's try and make.
What if I do
sense.
this?
Bishop h5.
Yeah, but I'm going to reply. I think I'm going to reply. I know I really don't want to. I'm just trying to illustrate a point here.
Bishop
here.
All the way to e2. We're actually sort of missing knight c4, but I'm not sure if it does anything. It doesn't seem to do anything anyway.
Okay.
Queen c1.
So if I play like this.
Yeah, that is a plan, but you are allowing h5.
I understand.
And Vishy went for something different. Vishy decided, okay, I don't like the idea.
He doesn't like the idea of provoking g6.
No, in particular, I think he wants one pair of rooks gone, because then, the pawn on g7 will only need to be protected by the king. Fabi already took, because I don't think he can. I mean, you can't abandon the g file. Now he has the option of going h5, h6 if he wants. I assume Vishy will take with the bishop. It hasn't happened yet, but I assume he takes with the bishop. Feels weird. Steal h5, g5, h6. Why would you allow that? Yeah, it feels extremely weird. So but here we can go h5, bishop somewhere, h6. I think it's still f5. To at least have ideas of bishop g4 at some point.
White's gained here, getting this pawn up the board.
Yeah, this is why I was kind of reluctant to suggest rook g6.
Feels like a weird move. Doesn't feel like a good move to me.
And Pramod says, I don't understand.
He's gone hg.
Yeah, he's gone hg. This is interesting because he will then go h5, g5, h6, g6. This is quite obvious. He's never going to allow white an open h file. That would be completely ridiculous. Not that, once again, it doesn't give mate, but it gives white outs and options. So h5 blitzed out, he will play g5. h6 probably will be played fast. He will play g6. I'm quite confident in this. And then he will claim that, you know, this pawn, if anything, will get rounded up and taken. Might not be ridiculous.
No, I understand, but even if that pawn is taken, well, I suppose you're just keeping the knight on d5 for eternity, right? And saying the bishop on a3 is locked out the game for good.
Yeah. Apparently the machine dislikes rook d6 quite severely. I can imagine, but, yeah.
They're saying horrible in the chat. Doesn't surprise me.
But then again, you know, perfect vision and computer evaluations are, you know, great tools, and they're not really available to players. And I can sort of see where he's coming from. In general terms, if not for the fact that you have to spoil your structure and allow the pawn to h6, in general terms, taking one pair of rooks off makes perfect sense there. Let me just state that for the record. I understand why he wanted one pair of rooks off.
Of course, yeah.
But yeah, it does allow white to create some counterplay which wasn't there.
And just from a practical point of view, Fabiano's next 4 moves were you could play in a blitz game. You could just not. So, I mean, there were moves here. I feel like I don't know exactly what moves, but you know, where Fabiano has to think a bit. You know, do you know what I mean?
I understand, yeah, but
is it with increment?
No, from move 61. So
you know,
that is.
You play a move here and you let Fabiano try and make a move.
Sure. But that discussion we can resume it after the time control. Fabi now has to make 4 more moves. He is down to a minute and a half. Black, I assume, will go king h7 because why wouldn't you?
Well, he's gone bishop g4.
Oh, okay. He feels completely safe on the long diagonal. Bishop g4 would be my next move, but Vish is even more ambitious. I like bishop. I mean, bishop g4 is very much part of your plan here, but I was wondering if you don't want to secure your king first. But Vishy is not worried about blundering anything anywhere. Like, yeah, I don't see it. Like, there's all kinds of potential distractions, but none of them work. Bishop f1 played, and this
that's sad, I think.
No, but you have to.
Do you have to?
Yeah, this bishop needs to leave. You have to, because otherwise your white squares will be so weak that you just, I think, die from combined threats on both flanks. This is still
54 seconds, 3 moves.
Yeah, no, this is still, regardless of what the machine says, this is still an unpleasant position for white. No matter how many times I'm being told that it's horrible by chat, I will not really, I will refuse to believe that. King A1
pass.
Played by, yeah, more or less pass, yeah. It's not easy to create immediate threats for black. I mean, you can play...
Is there some ideas of playing bishop x wherever, let's say bishop f3, g4, g3s are in the air?
Bishop f3 already been played, and I think the threat more concretely is queen g4, g1, picking up all of your pieces.
Oh my god, that's a disaster.
Yeah, rook h3 played by Fabi. I think he realizes what's happening and he's stopping it by creating a move, a rook g3 move. But knight c4...
Knight c4, the rook's on.
Knight c4, but
no real...
You could, first of all, on half a minute, it's not easy to go for this, but it might be something you could try. But okay, Vishy played g4, rook g3 already on the board. Okay, now black can just pick up on h6. You can also go for something like rook f5, rook h5 to
this
improve your...
This is a disaster for Fabiano.
Also, knight f5,
knight f5,
rook g1 and g3.
This is the point.
Might collect the pawn on e3. Yeah, I quite like. Of all the options, I like this the most because I think once e3 falls, your position just collapses. Like if you imagine looking at this is just utterly horrible.
No,
you probably play bishop h3 here because of that. But then we take on f2, and we can even take on b4 for the time being.
It's finished.
Oh, but yeah, here, I'm not sure what I mean, probably I actually get mated. I'm getting mated on the other side of the board before I will give a single check on the king side. So, yeah, but he did make time control. This is move 40. It's relevant. So he made time control. Vishy has 20 minutes to enjoy his undoubtedly excellent position here, and. Yeah, we'll see what happens from here, but I mean, Vishy is, I think, a large favorite to win this from here.
Yeah, massive favorite. Massive. What about the Anish game? Anish has managed to win a pawn. Is he giving mate like this? This is his idea. So he wants to go queen h1. And then if queen c7 check, he wants to go rook f7.
No, I don't think it's rook f7. You can just go knight f7 and the queen has to go back.
That's true. But I thought rook f7 was just mate.
Is it? Let's look.
Takes.
And something
c4,
like bishop e2 or something.
Bishop d1 at the end. Or bishop e2, depends where.
Yeah, does look kind of promising with the threat of bishop c4,
Yeah,
queen d3.
queen,
yeah, this probably is mate. Yeah, but queen c7, I mean, is refuted by a number of things.
Yeah, so if that is refuted and he can't move the bishop...
Well, I guess black just very slowly goes rook f7
So
and then
knight
knight f5 and picks up the rook on g3.
There's literally no moves.
Yeah, and every endgame is completely lost.
And
so
even endings with the queens off is just hopeless, right? So
okay, Pakistan needs 18 from 43 with 3 wickets remaining. Looks like Sri Lanka
14 from 83.
From 43, sorry.
14 from 43.
No, you can read, right? Just I can't pronounce numbers anymore. 18 from 43.
18 from 43. That's a 50-50 shot, no?
No, I mean it's not about the run rate. They are 7 down, so if they lose one more wicket, I assume it's into the proper tail. It's not really about the run rate anymore. 18 from 43 is they can do it in their sleep if they don't lose any more wickets. But okay.
Okay. Queen c7 check played by Fabi, and now I do expect Vishy just to go rook f7. Because also if he goes queen c1, at least you've got knight f5.
Yeah, it's a more effective conclusion to the game here. I think Fabi's and rook f7 blitzed out by Vishy. Yeah, we can. I think we can probably go for the full screen there if I can find the correct. Queen takes d6 played. I think we will see queen f1, bishop e2, and the resignation. It's extremely likely because there's just nothing there.
There's no moves. Yeah.
It's more or less a forced win.
Oh, Fabi, still pains me to see this.
King a2, yeah, and bishop. I think bishop e2 is what he will play. I think he sees it. He will check it. He will check it one last time, and he will go bishop e2, and we will see a handshake. Yeah. Yep, there it is.
And Fabi's gonna resign here.
Yep.
Yeah.
There it is.
Very disappointing.
So the only game we have left
Very disappointing.
is